Hey guys, Kenny here. Brand new Honda GCV 200, literally months old. Won't start. The guy's, normally takes care of everything. Expensive mower, all right? Says it won't start. GCV 200, newer engine. So I open her up and you can see it's got that jelly. See that jelly right about, where's the, right about there. See the jelly? Yeah. So I said to the guy, I said, what'd you do different? He goes, no, I didn't do anything different. He goes, but I have been putting in like that stabilizer and, no, what did he call it? Mechanic in a bottle. Well, you know what? It means won't ever start again in a bottle. The jet itself was pretty clear, but when I opened up the bowl nut, you could see that whatever it is, mechanic in a bottle, whatever, it's corrosive. It's got jelly all over it. There's jelly. You can see jelly in the bowl. So I'm going to clean it off. You can see all the corrosion on there. So mechanic in a bottle, stay away from it. And look at the float pin too. Float pin's kind of weird. Anyway, let me clean it up. I'll put it back together and we'll see if she starts. But right now, when your customer tells you they've been using mechanic in a bottle, yeah, you know you're gonna have to take that carb apart. Like I said, this thing's brand new. He bought it in the spring, so it's not that old. So, all right, let me clean this thing up and we'll get back to you. Another good reason for van pliers, which I love with the tips on the end like that. That pilot jet wasn't coming out. I had the right JIS screwdriver. It wouldn't come out. Tried it with an impact. It just started to round it. So the old van plier with the curved end on there worked perfectly. Went in there and it turned it right out. So van plier, the Brute, the small one, I love it. Get yourself a pair, you won't go wrong. They're a little expensive, but you know what? It just paid itself off. All right, talk to you later. All right, we put the car back on and we drained out a little bit of fuel from in there. It didn't seem brandy new fuel, but it didn't seem real bad. And we tried to start it and still, it would start for a second then shut off. So what I ended up doing was draining the tank. I sucked all the old fuel out. I put in fresh stuff. Let's see what happens. That'll do it. You know, fuel, it may look good. It may even smell pretty good and the color may be good, but God knows how long he had that fuel in there. And I found all the additives and everything. And one thing I did notice though, when I did drain out the tank, toward the very end of it, I could see there was a little bit of water in there. So who knows what was in that fuel, okay? I have an old fuel can I use for old fuel, and I ended up siphoning it out, putting it through my filters, and I put it in my tractor, and hey, runs good. Anyway, that's it for this one. Basically, newer engine, GCV 200. He put that snake oil in there called mechanic in a bottle. And really, you know, it was almost, it won't run if you put this in a bottle. So I always tell these guys, don't use that snake oil. Also, his oil was a little bit under full. It says right on the side of these engines, as in most Hondas, you do not screw the cap in when you check it, okay? You just have it touch the end of the threads. Everybody screws in these dipsticks and they think they have a full thing of oil, and you're really low. So I ended up putting in about 1/3 of a quart, and this thing doesn't take that much, so I got to remind them of that too. But anyway, this thing's done. Basically took the carburetor apart, cleaned out all that jelly, all that mechanic in a bottle and ethanol and all that crap. Then we go to start it, putting out and wouldn't stay running. Drained the fuel, blew out the fuel tank, put in fresh fuel. Now it runs good. So make sure you have fresh fuel. Never trust people's fuel. When they come to you with fuel, oh, I just put it in. Yeah, but how old's your gas can? And I'm going to tell them, if you have a gas can at home with 5 gallons of this old fuel in it, throw it out, because it'll do the same problem. I mean, I don't mind. I'll get more work out of it. But in this case, you really got to use fresh fuel, especially after you rebuild the carburetor and everything. Why are you going to put old fuel back in? All right, guys, that's it for now. We'll talk to you soon.